Welcome to Loot Level Chat, episode number 24. My name's Adam Cook, and I'm here with Stephen Chambers and Lyle Pendle.
Hello, Adam.
Hi, Adam. We're here. We're back.
And I'm not going to ignore you either, Lyle. Hi, Lyle. Sorry.
That's all right. You know, I don't wish to pull the curtain back too far, but we do speak before we hit the record button. So we have said hi already.
God forbid we interact outside of this.
We speak, but do we listen?
No, we don't listen doing this.
Okay, I was going for a sort of Mighty Boosh kind of. I mean, you know it, Steve.
I do.
Do we really?
Do you really listen?
Do you really dream? It's gone now. It's long gone. Like, trying to drag that reference back. It's summertime. Lots of things have happened. Lyle's moved since we've been asked recording.
I think I've recorded in here while it.
You have.
Yeah. So
yeah, it looks very different now, Lyle.
I've moved and made it look nice.
I think that's why I'm like Lyle's moved. No, he hasn't. He definitely was in that house last week, a few weeks ago. But Steve was away, so that is true.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby.
That's right, though, right? Because I'm starting to worry that people will think the reason we've been away is because I've completely lost my marbles. Because, I mean,
that's the most likely answer.
Yeah, it is. But there's been also loads of games, and the weird thing about games is to review them and to talk about them, you have to play them. I know it's weird, but you do have to actually play them.
Controversial.
Yeah, and to get them written up and played, we have to take time, and sometimes combined with everything else, we just.
We've had Gamescom in between as well, which I don't think we've talked about at all.
No, that's what we were going to talk about last week because we couldn't talk about anything else. And then I think I don't even remember why we didn't record last week. Is it?
No, I'm blaming you.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like you weren't in the country, so I feel like you blaming me is harsh.
I guess that means that Steve is the one we can't blame, though. You know, he is quite blameless in this. He wasn't here.
You say that, but hotels and other foreign countries have got Wi-Fi. But
it is. I will point out, not to diss Sri Lanka too much, but it was absolute trash on Wi-Fi, man. It was horrendous.
So just to be clear, there you are dissing Sri Lanka a little bit, but not too much.
Possibly a touch.
Okay, just to be clear,
a bit.
Mainly their internet infrastructure, not the people. They're lovely. I'd like to point out.
You didn't say that.
Internet.
Well, never mind.
The internet's the number one thing about Sri Lanka, and the people being nice is the number two.
It's
thing. That's the thing you think of afterwards.
The trains look good from the video you sent. They looked fun.
They are terrifying at times though, because it's that view of the doors are free to open and stick your head out if you want, and everybody does.
So it sort of sounds like you're blaming the people there.
You're trying to put words in my mouth. No, the trains are lovely, the people are lovely, the food is lovely. It's a lovely country, just to clarify.
Sponsored by the Board of Sri Lanka. Sri
Lankan Tourist Board sponsorship, finally.
Is there like an Emirates of Sri Lanka? You know, like how Emirates sponsor everything now, like the Emirates Airlines. Is there a Sri Lankan version sponsored by...
I don't think so, no.
Oh, well, then that joke doesn't land at all, does it?
No.
Can we link? Can we somehow link Sri Lanka to Shinobi? I don't think it's going to be easy.
They kind of sound a bit alike.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. But Shinobi,
Shrinobi.
No, I mean no. So the answer was no. Then fair enough.
No,
that was easy enough. Yeah.
I know Steve played the demo and wasn't keen on it, but
I played a little bit. I did manage to download that after 3 days on holiday. It took forever.
Wow, was that long ago?
For 20 meg of bloody download.
Wow.
And then I played it for 2 minutes and just went, yeah, it's not for me, thanks, and deleted it instantly.
Well, that's why people email in saying you're a bad person, because Shinobi Art of Vengeance is out now. On Switch, on Xbox, on PlayStation, on PC. And I haven't finished it. I should have, if I'm honest with you. I should have finished it. Lyle has. It's a really interesting time because we've just got a new Shinobi and we just had a new Ninja Gaiden. But, there's another new Ninja Gaiden later in the year, but this new Ninja Gaiden was a side-scrolling action platformer.
They're all coming at once, man. What's happening?
Well,
It's the year of ninjas, but 2 franchises specifically. If we'd got a Tenchu game it would have been fully in there.
It would. But Shinobi is... I mean... It's just magnificent, isn't it, Lyle?
I gave it a 10 out of 10, so yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Move on if you want.
It turns out I am completely wrong then.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that. I wasn't going to lean into that too hard. But yeah, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is bloody brilliant. It's just, I don't know, it's everything you could want from that genre of game in that it has its combat feels almost like the 2D equivalent of character action, with loads of different combos that you'll like learn as you go, and loads of different ways to, you know, approach the combat. There's loads of like intricacies to it, like how if you build like this sort of like execution meter, then if you kill the enemies with that, like if you fill up the execution meter, you can do like an instant kill on an enemy basically. But the way to fill that up is like usually throwing the kunai instead of slashing them is the easiest way to do that. So it's kind of like teaching you to, you know, use the right way to kill them to get the most money, because then you'll be able to buy better upgrades. And yeah, like it really works. It encourages you to play in a certain way, but that really works. And I think it's like it's got this really perfect level for me of difficulty where like it is tough. It's not gonna hold your hand or anything, and you're gonna have boss fights that are the, you know, you replay those boss fights a few times, but it is always a few times, or it was for me. It was like 5. There might have been a boss at one point that was like 10 retries. It's not like 100 and all night.
Later, you're still battering your head against the wall.
It's like, oh, I'm learning this. I'm getting better. This is great. And you've got so many different like abilities that you can kind of like try and figure out the best one to use, because you've got like a sort of special ability that fills quite quickly, where you can use that to do like, you know, various things. Like this one might do more damage, one might fill an execution meter more, one might be a bit better at range, all these different things, and you unlock loads of them as you go through the game.
So you can kind of make your own build then, by the sounds of that, depending on how you want to play. You can
within reason. We're not talking like this is a Souls game where you can put 10 points into, you know, not like that, but it's more about
if you want to
accessories.
sit back and kunai people rather than getting heads up and straight
certainly there's ways you can like incentivize the kunai being better. Like you can make it so that you're like, because you get like a gear slot and an amulet slot that are basically just 2 passives but of different types. And then alongside that, you can mix and match your different like types of special move to make that work out. But
to be like, clear, though, it is a melee game. You're not, because you mentioned, Steve, specifically there about, you know, you want to be Mr. Kunai from the. No, it's a melee game. You do have.
It's going to force you to actually get.
The systems, the idea of like Lyle said earlier, like the Kunai and the melee, they mesh in a way that
they interact.
100%. And it's just so clever how all these systems work, and then the flow of combat is just so perfect. Like you've got the sort of your standard dodge roll evasion move that you can press to, you know, get out of the way, make sure you don't get hurt, etc. But like if you do it and there's a ledge, it's a different sort of roll where you roll over a ledge so that it doesn't like get in, like the environment doesn't get in your way. If you do it near an enemy, you sort of roll over their body instead of just like rolling through them. And then there are certain combos that only work if you roll over an enemy first and things like that.
That's
and it's
pretty cool to be fair.
It's just got all these different like, because I you know, by the end of the game you've sort of built up a pretty big selection of these special moves, because you sort of unlock them. The way the shops works is interesting too, in that like you go to the shop the first time and there's like 3 things for sale, like 3 fairly basic, like, you know, ends to combos and buffs and things like that. But there's like 5 of these sort of like coins in each stage, for want of a better term. They're probably something more mystical than just like a 5p, but
slightly mystical coins.
Slightly mystical coins in each level, and if you find these, you can spend like a few of them at the shop, and you'll upgrade the shop. So suddenly, just like more will appear in the shop. You'll just get like a few more added options. It incentivizes you to do that exploration, which leads quite nicely into how the exploration works, because Shinobi Art of Vengeance is sort of like a Metroidvania, but it has levels. So like,
is that like different exits will take you to a different level?
No, they are stages. Like this is the Neon City stage, and it is, here's the start, here is the end. It has a map within it, but you can then go back and play that. So I want to jump in, Lyle, actually, if I can, because this was the part where I actually went properly in love with it. Right, so you're about halfway through the game, I think, is when because you suspect, is this a Metroidvania? You suspect it, but then you get an ability, which I won't spoil because it's unnecessary, that you've seen earlier, that you think that really looks like thing that I could do thing with. Yeah. So you get that ability and you go back to do a level, and I did that level and I played it through and I was like, there's still stuff I can't get. Okay, and I carried on. And then, as with most games of its ilk, you get them. Now here's the thing. Within each of these stages, there are checkpoints that you can use to fast travel between. And the moment I truly was like, I am in love with this game, was when it felt like it'd been designed by someone who plays video games. So say I'm trying to think of a way of not spoiling, or if it even is, just say you want to go back because you've got ability B and you remember there being a thing for ability B, right? But that was like in the middle of the level where that was. So you're thinking
you've got to traipse all the way through back to that point.
Or no, it was more than that. I figured out pretty quickly. Well, I can just start at this checkpoint. What I didn't know until I tried it was, I can start at this checkpoint, go in, do the thing, walk back to checkpoint, exit the level. Not have to finish level.
Explore that one thing
just
you
that
wanted
section.
to do, rather than having to finish that.
And that was the moment where I was like, this has been designed by someone who understands that someone wants to play this game as a linear. I'm going to one and done it. But if they want to go back in and get 100% on everything and all the secrets, because it was well over halfway through until you're even able to 100% a level. Yeah. You need abilities from later. I would say maybe 70% because there's a certain ability you just. So even within these levels, there's like a hidden. Do you know what, Steve? You'll get this. Think if you know Super Meat Boy with hidden exits where he unlocks a whole new level.
Yep.
That kind of thing. Well. And within those levels, some of them need certain abilities you just cannot.
Right. Okay.
I say you can't. Mm-hmm. I've seen people play games like Celeste and Meat Boy to know that people have found ways to do things you shouldn't be able to do. But to my knowledge, you couldn't do certain bits of this without certain powers. So it's really been designed in a way that you can just go, well, if I just want to one and done it, or actually, I'm going to go back now and I'm going to do this level. And I started doing that, and that's why I haven't finished it. Because I went back 100% of that one. Oh, now I can 100% that one. And slowly you can go through, and I found myself doing that. And that's why I've not quite seen the... I know I'm close, but that was the moment for me where I'm like, that's magic. It
sounds like you've got more replayability than I would expect with the genre normally then. You're incentivized to go back.
Well, it depends what genre you're talking about. Metroidvanias is a difficult one to say.
No, more as a side-on action game.
Yeah, in that case, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah, absolutely. And... yeah, it is this magical moment when you realize it, because I'd been going through every level and I knew obviously there was more to these levels because you finish them and it says 23% complete and you go I've been everywhere. 23%.
It does that to you where you're like, oh, thanks a lot. I'm that shit, am I? You finish a level and I was not exaggerating. It is 20% and you're like, wow.
You think you've absolutely rinsed it and just been told.
I've really felt thorough, but apparently I'm shit.
And it meant that on the next few stages, I was rubbing every wall. One of these has got to go through, and it's no, it's that you can't do that yet. And it's a really cool thing that means that going back is so much fun. But you also, it is like you said, it would be difficult not going back, trying to do it as a linear thing, because you'll get stronger and
that's true,
extra currency and collectibles and stuff that will make it easier to progress. But I don't think it would be unbeatable to just play every level in order. I think it's probably doable, but difficult.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't have to. But it's even not just collectibles, because for ages there were for 3 or 4 of the stages, and it's a 10-stage game or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But for the first 3 or 4, I hadn't found one of the types of collectibles, and then when I finally did, I found out it wasn't a collectible. It was a arena fight. And
the elite fights.
They were really fucking hard. And
yeah, they're tough.
There's a little wave-based arena thing going on then.
Yeah,
it gives you elite versions. It's called Elites, I think. It gives you elite versions of the enemies. So but they're quite tough, some of them, and I've finished them all. So
they're quite tough, and but you have to even get anything from beating them, you have to be all 3 in a stage. And so you might go back to a stage and you can get to one of them and it's well, I've beaten this and it was sort of for nothing, but it really incentivizes me coming back again. And also it was a lot of fun
but again, I love the fact you can jump in, do one, exit. It saves that you've done that one.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I just don't think many games do that. A lot of games will be no, look, you can redo it, but you kind of got to do all of it. The fact this lets you piecemeal a level out, I think, is a really smart, neat idea. That is it's almost like someone sat at the table and went, "We know people have just not got the time these days. There's 3,000 games a year, minimum. We just let them let them just jump in and do what they want to do. It's like, I don't really...
Makes it sound ideal for portable play in that sense, then. Pick it up on the Switch and just do a quick blast, and it keeps that progress without you having to force for an hour.
You mentioned Switch. We should just point out, I believe it is one of those games that has only got a Switch 1 version. Now, I did play the demo on Switch 1. I played the final game on PS5. I think, Lyle, you were on Steam.
I played the whole thing on Steam Deck, and I can confirm on Steam Deck it's bloody lovely. So that's a nice.
I can only say I enjoyed the demo on Switch. I played the demo on Switch too, but it's a Switch 1 version, and I wasn't there going, ugh. I didn't put it on the telly, so I can't comment to that.
It doesn't sound like the kind of game that would need a Switch 2 version, realistically.
I mean,
what else would you be adding to?
Pretty.
It's very nice looking.
The aesthetic looked kind of cool, man. That wasn't against that for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those where you can kind of see that maybe a bit more visual sprucing might help for,
I imagine if you put a Switch 1 in the dock on a 4K telly that's 50 inches, it might not look incredible.
Okay.
I don't really 100% know what the Switch 2 can do for that stuff, if there is much upscaling.
Yeah.
But look, I don't think... Look, again, I can't say for sure because I only played the demo, but I can't imagine you'd have a bad time with any version of this game. I'd be very surprised if one of them was like dog shit. It
might be a bit inferior and not ideal at a push, But I assume you'd have a great time. And
oddly enough, by the way, Ninja Gaiden Rage Band is another one that has only got a Switch 1 version.
It's quite common currently, isn't it? Really, we're not at the point where we're getting Switch 2 versions for that many games currently, are we?
Certainly seems that way.
Proper Nintendo stuff.
It is wild though, because
odd things I've read recently, it sounds like a lot of people haven't had a lot of dev kits still, and that's what they might be waiting for still to put it through.
I will say though, if you're going to play these two, and Lyle, you might actually better even chime in here a little bit more, because I was playing Rage Bound, which I was really enjoying, by the way, and I'm not not talking about it for any reason. It's just so much time in the world, isn't there? I was really enjoying that. Again, that is more of a traditional stage based that kind of game without the sort of Metroidvania stuff. It's got some really interesting, cool stuff in it, but it's more traditional of an arcade style, I guess. I was really enjoying it. Shinobi came along and started playing that, and Shinobi kind of ate its lunch a bit, and I want to go back. But it really did eat its lunch,
That's
taking
interesting.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I played quite enough of Rage Bound to be certain that that's necessarily the case. And also, because I was on the review for Shinobi, I wasn't going to not play it, Whereas Rage Bound's already reviewed. That's fine, So...
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an easy way of finding this out. When you played Rage Bound, did you only play as Ryu Hayabusa? I don't know how you say his name. Ryu.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then you there's more. That's what I'll say.
I've not really. I played
just had a
all of
smash.
half an hour,
So it'd be really interesting if you do get a chance to go back to that, how you feel about that now you've played Shinobi, because again they are quite different. I don't know. I'm really quite pleased, having them two games come out of that. I'm like, it's like these are because they're big names to me, like Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi. I know perhaps Shinobi's not as big these days, but it was. It's still Sega.
Love Shinobi. Shinobi was one of those games that I didn't have a Sega console growing up, and they're Sega games, but they're one of those games where whenever they popped up on one of the Sega Mega Drive collection bundly things that always appeared a few times. There was a good few of them, wasn't there?
Oh, they were everywhere for a while, weren't they?
Yeah. And whenever they appeared, the Shinobi games would always be the ones that one of the ones that I stuck with properly hardcore, because I've played all the Sonics, I've done all that stuff, so it was more what are these lesser known, I guess, titles to me as Nintendo kid, and Shinobi was one of those that I always stuck with and was God, this is so good, and I remember the 3DS one, I played that to death, and that's weird to even think about existing, but yeah, that was the last Shinobi game 14 years ago or something.
Jesus, time flies, buddy.
It's really interesting as well, because I kind of thought both that and Rage Band would be good because of the companies involved. I think Dotemu's involved in Rage Bound, and Shinobi is Lizard Cube, who did Streets of Rage 2 with Dotemu, I think.
Yeah.
So you got these two companies making that kind of game, and they're fucking good at it, by the way. They're really good at making these kind of games, and I don't, and also this is the thing, like when you see those games, I would forgive someone for seeing them in passing and go, what a pretty looking game. I know what to expect. That's it's kind of one of them games. But when you actually play it, like the depth of mechanics and stuff that they've added to make them feel more like a 2025 game than that's 100%. That game I played back then is like. Give these a chance if you even if you feel like things have moved on. I'm more into my deep RPGs now and all this, that, and the other. They add so, like I say, with Ragebound, and I'm sure you'll get to it eventually, but like the stuff they add, it's like, wow, that's clever, and that is not possible and would not have been doable in this game if it were a Mega Drive game,
Yeah.
They just look great as well, both of them.
Like you say, it's easy to assume just looking at it, you know exactly what's there.
100% would forgive someone for walking past thinking you were going, oh, he's playing a retro game. Maybe more Ragebound, because Shinobi has got an art style about it where you can tell it's like this is a modern... But regardless, like you could tell, you would forgive someone for going, oh, no, I'm more into, I don't know, this RPG or that shooter, like. But like they're so they've both got demos, I think, as well. One of them, Shinobi definitely has a demo. I think Ragebound has a demo or had a demo.
I think they both do, but I'm not certain. Don't quote us on it, but I'm pretty sure there's demos of both. And if there is,
because at that point we like to be completely wrong.
Oh, yeah. If we were confident in this and said it was definitely a thing, then we would be wrong. So instead, we'll sort of say it in a wishy-washy way, and it'll be like, oh, yeah, of course there's 2 demos. You should have been more confident.
Have a look. There might be a nice treat out there for you. Go and have a look.
Yeah, maybe. Ooh.
Sticking with, unless... Lyle, sorry, I don't mean to assume you finished talking about Shinobi. If you have anything you want to add, by all means.
Okay.
But we could...
all I heard then was fuck Shinobi at that point.
Okay. That's fine.
We can read the review if you want to know more about Shinobi.
You should.
It got a 10. Yeah. I've only given one other 10 this year, and that was to Sea of Stars DLC. This is the first full game that got a 10 this year from me. I love it. It's great.
That good. It is that good as well. Do you know what? Before we do move on, just a quick shout out. I love the fact there's like interstitial levels where you do like 3 levels that are sort of thematically linked, and then you do like a level where you travel to the next set. And they're slightly different mechanically, like you're riding stuff. I'm not even going to say because I love that they exist. There's not many of them. I think there's 2 of them. I think.
Yeah, there's only a couple. I think 2 or 3 maybe, but yeah, I think 2.
It's cool.
Just a nice little sprinkle in there.
But they are the bit where it feels that reminder of. Do you remember you used to do that? Do you remember in like the Turtles games where you do a beat 'em up section and then you'd be like on a surfboard going through the sewers or like it's that level. And I love that they're there. That just as a little kind of remember. We're not just Anyway,
I'm getting Battletoads flashbacks now.
Battletoads is another one, yeah. And the recent one did that. The more recent Battletoads.
That was really. I loved the more recent one. That had a lot of variety.
Yeah, it was good. I know. Do you know what? I wouldn't bet my house on it. I got a funny feel. No, it wasn't one of them. It was somebody else. I think it was Delilah. I think the team that eventually made Disney. The Metroidvania Disney one.
You're just making names up now.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I'm sure it was them, Delilah. I'm sure it was. But moving from one game that's very colourful, vibrant, lovely, to another that is very vibrant, very colourful, very lovely, and also another platformer. It's not that we've got a type, Lyle, but the Knightling, and I have to hand it to you here because you brought this game to attention of everyone. Sorry, not everyone. I mean,
in
us.
the world.
Yeah, like
it's only me.
Through multiple previews and like just you've been excited for it for a very long time, and as you very much opened your review with, go and read it on lootlevelchill.com. Sometimes when you're that excited about a game that you've previewed, because you only get to see a little X amount of a game when you preview it, and hey, some of us have been done by that in the past. Let's just say that and move on.
Is that true? I don't remember that happening.
Not in this lifetime. Different lifetime. Yeah. The Knightling is a game you were very excited, very, very excited for, and you have now played it. You have reviewed it.
Mm-hmm. And it was good. It was worth being excited about. Hooray!
Yay.
I wasn't wrong. Yeah.
But there is nothing more gutting. I'm just saying, there is nothing more gutting when you've been that hyped for something and you play it and you're like, oh my God.
You've been absolutely stitched up.
No, not even that. More your own level of like, we've all done it. When you've played a game and you're like, I cannot wait to play more, and then you do play more and you realise it was best foot forward, and you're like, well, that's a real it's just really disheartening. Like, you think, but the Knightling isn't that, so we'll stop talking about that because that's not a thing for the Knightling. The Knightling is not that. A 3D action platformer where you are a Knightling. Is that a thing?
I don't know if they've made up. I think they've made up the word Knightling. Okay. Yeah, but it's a good word, and it sounds a bit legitimate. You know, it sounds like something that's like, yeah, maybe they did call them that in ye olden times. But but no, it's just a cute little name for a like rookie knight who's in training, a apprentice knight.
And what are they supposed to be? They're like amalgams of humans, but they're not humans, are they?
Yeah, they're sort of they're very
they're
odd,
human
like,
shaped, but they're
human shaped, and they just sort of have like eyes and like.
Do you remember the game De Blob?
Yeah,
I kind of think they're like De
changing the
Blobs.
colour of the world.
Yeah, but I kind of think of them like De Blobs inside suits of armor. A lot of them. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what they are, definitely, and also
that's there apparently.
Yeah, and I just love the idea of like, oh, that's what it is. It's De Blobs. Everyone's thinking about De Blob here.
I was going to say a secret sequel, but I actually think that did get a sequel.
It did get a sequel.
Yeah, okay, so a threequel to
De
De Blob. This is like Bubsy's comeback essentially, but for De Blob.
For De Blob.
Christ, I've gone insane. Apparently,
It's just taking a weird blobby turn, man. It's not where I expected this to be.
Mr. Blobby the game. If he wore a night suit.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
What? What's wrong with Mr. Blobby? Oh, don't tell me Mr. Blobby's the wrong one.
Such an old school reference.
Okay,
man.
that's fine. I can cope with being old.
That must be aging us at that point. Obviously, not you included there, Lyle.
Hey, I lived in Morecambe. I grew up in Morecambe, and that's where one of the Blobby lands was.
Right.
Which
I'm sorry. Can we what? Blobby Land?
You what? Oh,
yeah,
fuck
there's like a
games.
whole-
Fuck games.
Yeah,
have
let's
you not
time
seen
talk.
like? Have you not seen the? Isn't there like some article somewhere about like someone explored a Blobby land that's like been left derelict and shit as well? Like
they
That
basically
sounds like
all
a horrible survival horror
Yeah.
setting.
yeah, oh,
yeah.
the comeback is on.
If anyone wants that
Yeah.
for free, they can take it. Do you
They
want it?
should take it, but yeah, they like
Yeah, talk to me about Blobby Land, man, because this is what?
they were basically they were called. They had a different name as well. I can't remember it, but some sort of like wrinkly bottom or some sort of funny pun bum name.
Because that
about
was
it.
where Noel lived.
No, that was
wasn't it?
crinkly
Yeah.
bottom. That was
Was that
crinkly
that
bottom.
crinkly bottom?
Crinkly
It reminds me of
bottom,
crinkle cut chips. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just does.
Not particularly
So
nice.
you've got a whole
No.
theme park dedicated to Mr. Blobby.
Kind of, but they weren't really so much the. I mean, I can only speak for the Morecambe Blobby one.
Was it just like a fucking
It was-
roundabout and some swings?
But it was it was just sort of like fake houses that like looked like they were a bit out of like a TV set, but not really, and weren't very exciting. The main thing I remember was that to get to it throughout the park, they like painted like pink and yellow spotty footprints so you could follow it to
follow
get
it around.
there. Yeah, but like, and I'm sure Mr. Blobby was there at some point, but like it died on its arse and no one cared
Yeah,
about
it
it.
was a bit much.
Surprising,
Cost the
literally no
community
one.
millions, that sort of thing.
It's like I'll tell you what it's like. It's like, you know how Peppa Pig World is within. Shit, what is it within?
I've been there. I can't
Chessington?
remember.
No.
It's inside another theme park. essentially.
Legoland?
One of those ones.
No.
Wherever it is, imagine that scale, a bit smaller than that scale. So it's almost like a mini. It's not like Thorpe Park. Not Blobbyland's not. But do you know, listen,
We
before,
have gone super niche today.
before I just want to say, because we do need to talk about the Knightling because it deserves it. But I just want to say,
Blobby's more important.
now and again, Mr. Blobby does pop up on modern stuff, and I find him funnier now than I did then, because I feel like whoever's playing Mr. Blobby has like gone. Like, even, Mr. Blobby was quite aggressive.
It just takes people out when he just dive on them.
And for some reason, that's so fucking funny to me as an older man now. Than it was not like it wasn't. I didn't find it funny. I think everyone had a place in their heart for Noel's. Shit, what was it called?
Everyone
Noel's
had their
House
Blobby
Party.
face.
Noel's house party, yeah.
But like when you see it now, he is so hyper aggressive, like just fucking absolutely railing into the sets of furniture, just smashing everything. That I find it particularly
He's just
amusing.
giving the people what they want.
Well, it kind of is a throwback to slapstick comedy, but it's just so. I just think in my head it's so stupid. It should not be, and I love that. I love silliness and I saw it a bit.
The guy's having the time of his life in that suit.
Oh, what
He's
a role!
absolutely
I mean, that's
loving
the
it.
acting role. Forget fucking
And he's
Thor
getting
in the
paid to
Avengers.
do that shit as well. How cool is
That's
that?
what I'm saying. Who wants to be in the Avengers when you can be in a pink and yellow spotty suit, just thrashing yourself around a room,
Making scary noises.
Oh,
So at what
no,
point does
that
Mr.
was
Blobby
scary.
come up in the Knightling, Lyle?
Well,
Yes.
you see.
Thanks, Steve.
uh,
Well done, actually, because I was just
Easy
going to
save.
keep going.
Easy save.
I can't even really figure out how we got anywhere from Blobby to Knightling. Oh, it's just how the people have eyes.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think
They look a bit-
That's where we got to.
Yep.
They have eyes.
Today's link, people have eyes. Brilliant.
Well, look, I can bring it
Blobby.
back, right? I can bring this back because the Knightling is a game because of Lyle I was very excited about, because we have very similar tastes when it comes to platform games. And I was worried from when I started playing this, because, and Steve, if anyone's listened to the bonus pod recently, they're gonna know where this is going. It's very, very slow starting in terms of there's a lot of story and a lot of hand holding before it eventually goes. Well, actually, before it eventually reveals itself as, I thought it was just going to be like a 3D platformer, a collectathon style, ukulele. That awesome. That's what it's like it's a 3D character action combat melee platformer,
open world
side questy Zelda, like dungeons. Yeah, the shit. I forgot about the dungeons. Puzzle game.
Like, not expected to go that way.
It's
sort of got it all, really. In that, the intro is like maybe the worst part of the game, and it is a bit sad to say that. It's not like it's not terrible.
It painfully slow?
It's quite
leaning
towards and also, Lyle, again, you mentioned it in your review about some of the puzzle sections. Then it's not that they are like particularly difficult; it's that they are just so. There's no obvious nature to it at all. I actually had that during that opening section with the blue.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. So because that may be one. That was one of those.
Yep, or something.
100%. Because I was playing that thinking either I am really dense or this has not been play tested.
Just too obtuse to work out.
The rest of it's not like that. I should say just that, but combine the intro of being slow narratively with you haven't got any skill trees or shit at that point, and that puzzle section. I was like, Lyle's been raving about this game for like a year, but once. And the reason I wanted to say that bit up front is because it gives you a chance to wax lyrical about it. Now I've done the negative part, because it very much feels what I've played so far. The negativity is very front loaded. Once you get to that, once you get allowed to open world, once you get to go questing and do open world exploring stuff, leveling up the skill trees, I'm like, okay, I'm back in. So
yeah, because I think basically the preview parts that I played were you are in the open bit immediately, and that's what you're playing, and that is, to be fair, 90%, 95% of the game, realistically.
That's reassuring, yeah.
It is like basically all of it. But yeah, you just sort of have to get to that bit. But once you do, it becomes this big open thing. The whole sort of central hook of the Knightling is that you have your guy has a shield, which is from his like the Sir Lionstone is the big hero of the Knightling, and he's your like mentor. And in this intro of the game, he tries to chase off a bad guy and just sort of like legs it, basically.
I've just remembered the bad guys are humans.
Is that because they've got eyes?
they like Mr Blobby, right?
Not my fault this time. But the thing about Mr Blobby is that they're like these weird ogre type giant humans.
They're much more human-like than the characters that you sort of interact with.
You know what the Knightlings are? Do you know Wacky Wave inflatable tube men? They're
them
like inside they're them inside night suits. There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
Thank God we've nailed that down.
Yeah, finally. Now we don't have to talk about anything else.
Yeah, a giant human and Sir Lion thingy get into a scuffle and he vanishes and you're left with his shield, aren't you?
You're left with his shield, and the whole central like hook of the game is always to do with this shield, which is the weapon that you end up using, which is like a living, talking shield that you use in combat as your weapon, which also means that a lot of the combat has like quite a lot of to do with like parrying as well, but like in that very nice, satisfying way. And it's never too tough to really do. No. It's not one of those like, oh, I'm never going to hit this parry window and I'm just going to be miserable the entire time I'm playing this game. Not that
it doesn't sound like the kind of game where you want frame perfect stuff like that.
Oh, it's definitely not that.
It is not. It is instead, you get it about right and then you go, fuck yeah, I'm a badass. I nailed that parry. I am the king of the world. So yeah, combat's really fun. It's quite weighty because it's a shield as well. You don't do like, you're not rushing in with fast hits. You're like doing quite slow hits, but you're doing your big parries and it's very satisfying. But you as well as that, you use the shield in terms of like getting around. So really early on, like basically the moment that intro ends,
yes,
you get told, I bet you could surf down that hill on that shield, couldn't you? And you just surf on the shield for the entire rest of the time you're in the open world.
And before you ask, Steve, because I know you're thinking it, no, it doesn't break like in Zelda.
I was debating a Zelda comment, but I thought
it doesn't break. It's just a shield, and you can just surf on it.
And you can just surf on it all the time. And the world is so well made for this shield. Like, it doesn't look like it's made of ramps and slopes, but it's made of ramps and slopes. The moment you've got the shield, you're like, oh yeah, that house was just a ramp after all. I didn't realize it just looked quite nice, but it's a ramp. And you go at breakneck speed and have a great time. And there are, like, because it's a big world to explore, there's loads of things to find while you're, surfing around on your shield.
So it's still got like the collectathon elements of it all then. So you
it's glowing
go
things
around and
everywhere.
grab all of the things.
There's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, glowing things everywhere you look.
It almost reminded me early on of like the Crackdown games where you'd see a glowy orb on a building and you'd be like, "Oh, I'd need to climb that. That looks there's a reason to climb that."
You know how to lure me in, Lyle.
No, you see, that's what I thought this game was more of. Like I say, I thought this was more of just a 3D platformer. So I wasn't expecting like combat at all from this game. I will say, I'm sorry to say this, Lyle, I don't think the combat's quite as good as it could be in some ways. It feels a bit weirdly heavy and floaty.
Okay.
Like maybe I haven't played enough. Maybe I need to play more.
You do get the combat does get a lot of options as you go further on, for sure. So there's a chance that that's it. It might just not necessarily be as much for you. I think I just enjoyed parrying so much, to be honest,
that's fair.
It carried it pretty well, because the parry is like super fucking powerful as well. Like if you parry, that's like true. The enemy will be pretty much stunned and you'll just kill them, and that's it. Like there's not really much after a parry usually.
I will also say, and actually this is more of a question than a statement, because you played on PC, I played on PS5 again. So I wondered if this was the PS5 version was slightly, it needed a patch or something. But some of the menus feel weirdly like there's no feedback to them. Like when you're leveling up, unlocking stuff and that, it just feels like you're moving. Like how menus will have like a click or just a feel that you're moving around them. I almost feel like I would lose
like a little haptic bit or something, or
not even
that, like more visual feedback.
Both, visual, and it almost felt like I was moving around in like a lightweight thing. Like there was nothing. I don't know. It's a really weird thing. Something felt off about it, and I don't know if that was just me or.
I mean, I think it was just you, but I think it probably was the same on the PC build.
It's not a major deal, by the way.
It's not, no.
It just was something I noticed it, because it was almost like, I don't know, it just seemed noticeable to me how it felt a bit peculiar in that respect. Yeah. But like, it is such a lovely. It's a lovely game.
The skill trees are great as well. Yes. Like there's a lot to unlock, and it just rewards you for gathering all the different things that you're going to want to gather anyway, because the exploration is like so much fun. So it works really well for that. It's like you've got a few different currencies, and some will help you upgrade like more your like attacks, whereas others will be more your movement things and stuff like that. So it being a game with multiple skill trees just wasn't something that I was expecting until that, like, because that first preview, that was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, there's a lot of skill trees in this game that I thought was a platformer, and mainly a platformer. That's kind of weird, but cool. I'm excited to see how that goes, and I think that goes very well as you get further into the game and start unlocking all this stuff.
It sounds like a nice kind of keep on the back burner game, like being the collectathon and going in there and dipping in and out for a bit and enjoying it that way. It's the kind of thing I'd like to have just running in the background for a couple of months.
I think.
Or does it need more focus than that?
Am I
belittling it? I didn't mean to belittle it.
Because it's quite a bit like, because saying it's a bit Zelda-like, I'm not saying that in like it's because you do a fun surf on a shield and you do a bit of gliding. It's like, no.
Sounds like it, Lyle.
I mean, that is part of it too. That is also part of it too. But like, there are dungeons in this game. There are like proper dungeons in this game, and like where you'll get a power part way through, and you'll have to solve all these puzzles, and you'll have to do all these little bits and bobs. Like, it's got quite a lot to it, and I think it would be quite easy to get lost if it was one where you thought like, or you wouldn't really get chance maybe even to do those sort of more important beats along the way, because like you'd be sitting down for a couple of hours to do that, like that would be
first dungeon.
You've got to give it a bit of focused attention then. So
I think the first dungeon took me an hour, if not more. I was going to actually say one thing I mentioned, because I moaned about the story. Well, not so much moaned about the story, but mentioned it was fairly heavy-handed. I do quite like the commitment to the story. Like, you are a knight in training, a knightling, and people love your boss, your mentor, and he's gone. and you are trying to fill in for that, you know, and be the hero. And I do like that everyone you speak to kind of, I don't want to say belittles you. That's a bit strong, but they because
a little bit,
but it's very Disney Pixar in that sort of in its charm offensive, and like, but they do. Oh no, look, you can't do this. You know. No, I'll just wait for him to come back.
Just wait for him. It's fine. He'll be back and he'll help me with this.
You do it, and these are multi-stage side quests. Like, you know, the one I think of, the one that stands out to me early on is you have to track down why I think it's is it crops going missing or.
Yeah, they've got like they're having farm issues and there's something that's clearly disrupting. So you have to go and investigate that, despite them telling you not to, and you come back and you say, "Well, I've worked out the problem. You've got some sort of monster infestation," and they're like, "Well, we told fine, well done, but you know you're way not qualified for that." And you're like, "I'm gonna do it." And you know it's just like multi-stage side quest, and it's just I kind of like I dig the commitment to the bit, if you know what I mean. Like I dig that it follows through on that, and then you'll go off to quite far away round the other side of the map of the town, and they're still like, "Yeah, you're not you know, you're not him though, are you? Let's be honest. You know, sure, go and get yourself killed, whatever. Go and
sod it. Just leave them to their own devices. They deserve it. Fucking
a little bit, yeah,
a little bit, yeah. But you know, they really do like Sir Lionstone.
Yeah,
they think he's great.
They're just really into it.
Yeah, they just think he's really good.
You know, he's like Noel Edmonds and you're Mr Blobby. It's like
exactly. Wait, no, surely the other way around.
Yeah, I think the other way around, especially nowadays. Yeah, but again, it's weird. I feel like, you know, we're talking about games that are not these like blockbuster, you know, but there's so many of these cool. Used to be, you'd say, cool indie games, and I know that now a lot of them have. I mean, Shinobi's Sega, you know, isn't? I think the Knightling is Saber
Interactive,
you know, which is that's not Ubisoft, that's not Sony, that's not Nintendo. You know, I know they're perhaps not. I don't know. I don't even know what an indie is in that respect nowadays. Indie was
it's become so blurred, man, hasn't it?
Well, indie was just a self-published game, wasn't it, most of the time? Yeah. But now you have indie publishers, and regardless, the point I'm making is there's so many of these cool games that are 100% going under the radar. You know?
And we could talk about like 10 more since the last time we recorded if we had the time, probably. We'd be like, oh, what about Quartet? I didn't get to talk about Quartet. That's a cool little RPG.
I wanted to play that. Your review made me want to play that. I thought that. I know what you were saying in the review about how it like doesn't do anything revolutionary, but like it's like sometimes it doesn't need to. It's just nice for a game to.
One of those games, just like I know what this sort of game is, and I like this sort of game. So thanks, that's nice.
Yeah, it's no less enjoyable for it, is it?
No, one of the reasons I bring this up is because if you've like found our podcast randomly or are new to us, we do genuinely try to cover that sort of game a lot more than just covering
the big big releases, you know.
Sorry, I've got a really dry throat all of a sudden. It's probably all this Mr. Blobby talk. It might actually just be the fact that the way Lyle's video is, because we do a video podcast on YouTube at Loot Level Chill.
Hello.
The way Lyle's video is, he has a modern day poster. It's not a poster, is it? It's a flag. It looks like.
It's like a canvas thing.
A canvas thing, but the way it's angled, the kerning has made it look like it says Bone Williams.
That's good.
It's giving me a dry throat thinking about that.
It's an exciting thought.
Yeah, look, there we go.
The way it's, you see what I mean? I don't know if you can see it in your own. The way it's. Oh no, now I can see it. Now I can see Robbie. Yeah. It's Robbie Williams, by the way. I should have pointed if you're an audio listener. It's Robbie Williams. Yeah. There is no Bone Williams I'm aware of. Let's move on, because I've just thought of this really, really good link actually from surfing around on a. What was it, Steve?
I don't know, Adam. You just thought of it. You tell me.
Yeah, I definitely thought of it a minute ago.
Something along the lines of maybe from shield surfing to street surfing. I don't know.
That sounds like the sort of thing I'd have come up with.
We're so in touch with each other. It could be something like that.
Really good.
And let's go with that.
Good one, Adam.
Yeah, you have been playing. Well, we have to say in a preview sense, because while I understand it's probably a not near final, but near release candidate build of this game, you didn't have access to the in-game store, so it definitely isn't the early access release version. Of Skate Full Stop, which is, I believe, how you pronounce it.
We will go through the Skate Full Stop now. Skate Period. Go with that one.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Why?
I'm just going to say that.
God.
I don't like that at all. Skate Full Stop, I'm fine. Well,
Skate Period is perfectly acceptable.
That's the sequel. I'm just going to get this out there. I hate when games do this stylistic stuff. whether it's all caps, full stops, I hate it.
You just ignore it.
Lowercase s.
Whatever it is, go with it. It's skate. Skate is back.
Call it Reskate. They're going to call it Reskate. As in remake, redo.
Weird.
It's better than Skate Period.
Well, maybe.
We need to stop saying Skate Period.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in every conversation at every possible opportunity from now on.
Point being, you have, and well, not just you and I want to say millions, but let's say hundreds of thousands of people have been waiting a very long time for EA to deliver a skate game.
15 blooming years, mate.
Wow.
Which
same as Shinobi.
Yeah,
absolute craziness.
Same as Mr Blobby.
Skate is a series that I have a lot of love for, and I've played everything up until this point.
Were you one of the people in the comments? Did you ever do it?
The what?
Did you not hear it? You must have heard about this. So one of the reasons
I live in some tiny insular bubble.
So apparently one of the reasons, I mean, it's not going to be the biggest, but one of the reasons this game ever sort of got willed into life is that basically whenever EA posted anything on Instagram, Skate when or something would appear.
Yeah, everyone's like, skate now,
Yeah.
skate, yeah, that was a thing for a while. I remember the original demo of Skate on 360, and it was a small level area, and I must have played fucking hundreds of hours of it. This one little spot that was part of a huge city, and I just kicked the arse out of it for so long. It was a revolution at the time. It was a changeover from skateboarding games of yesteryear, when we'd had Tony Hawk's there, we'd had things like Thrasher, Skate and Destroy.
It did that sports thing of what EA were doing, where they were taking games like PGA Tour, and they went from button press to all of a sudden it was all analog because the sticks. And Skate was that. Man. And
that was the big revolution at the time. It wasn't just a button press anymore. You were doing. I'm sure I could be wrong. I think it called it the Flick It scheme. I'm sure it's called Flick It.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and what it did was it took the right stick, and you would basically recreate a skateboarding move using the motion of the stick in the same manner. So if you wanted to do an ollie, which is basically a jump up and down, if anyone doesn't know that, I'm assuming it's commonly known by people. Yeah, you would move the stick from bottom to top.
Did I actually get that right? Because that was muscle memory. I remember going...
Yeah, and that would do an ollie. If you wanted to do a kick flip, you would do a kick off to the left. If you wanted a heel flip, off to the right. But it would soon get more complex than that. If you wanted to do things like tray flips, impossibles, you would be basically doing like a...
Tray flips?
Hadouken movement. Huh?
Tray flips?
Tray flips. 360 kick flips.
Makes more sense. Flips. Yeah, makes more sense. Sort of.
You would do a little Hadouken roll into an upwards flick. So you would get lots of movement out of that motion, essentially. And it took a ridiculous amount of time to get that muscle memory and to do those things, because it was so new. Like you say, with Tiger Woods changing from like a 3-button system to suddenly having an analog stick you would use the motion of to recreate a swing. That took a while to get used to, man, and to actually build a muscle to do it consistently. And this was just like that.
Like me, you just refuse and keep playing Mario Golf, so I'm just still...
But it was a joy to learn. And we've gone from Skate 1, we had then Skate 2, which opened up more tricks, more opportunity to add your own objects and obstacles.
That's a hell of a subtitle. Skate 2, more tricks.
Sorry. Yeah, it never caught on. I think that got fucking kicked straight.
That's why they just added the full stop.
Yeah. Which is why Skate period makes much more sense.
Yeah. So hang on, so remind me, was there a Skate 3?
There was a Skate 3. This is the
technically 4.
Yeah. There was also some other odd offshoot ones. There was a Wii version where you would take the Wiimote and you would hold it horizontally.
What's the one that had the board?
That as a skateboard.
What's the one that had the full board? Or was that Tony Hawk's that had an actual board?
That was Tony Hawk's Ride.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And that had a couple of games in the series. That was weird as well.
Yeah, there was like 2 like that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
God, we had a wild time with plastic peripherals, didn't we, back then? My God. An actual skateboard you could ride, Wii balance board, guitars, DJ. Oh, my God.
Oh, there's
Take
some
me back.
bongos up there.
Yeah, the bongos.
They're still there. Yeah, you can only just see the bottom of them.
Yeah, just about.
Full on DJ decks. DJ Hero had the best peripheral. I love that.
That is too good to consider just like
now and again it crosses my mind. Could I get one? Like if they must still be out there. Not new. I mean,
borrow mine. I've got 2.
There you go. I don't remember getting
it was one of
them
those things where you could, if completely off off topic.
You could use them both, couldn't you?
You got the game with the one deck, but there was a mode where you could use two decks, like an actual DJ.
Oh God, I hate to sound like one of them, but like, take me back. I would.
Good times.
That was a
that's one of the things that I'd love
video
to
game.
come
Sorry.
to backwards compatibility, and never has. And I'm guessing it's a licensing issue with tracks and stuff. But man, those two DJ era games are great.
But back to games you play with
The
controllers.
skateboarding, yeah.
So this is technically Skate 4, right? In all but name.
Yes. Yeah, to all intents and purposes, it's Skate 4, and it is iterating on the idea. It's a big world to go out and skate in.
How?
To go lose your time.
How do you iterate on that idea now? And how do you, in 2025, what's...
Well, Adam.
Does it have a battle pass or something?
Matt, let me tell you what they've done. So, in the original Skate, you couldn't get off your skateboard. You'd be absolutely glued to it.
Can you?
Skate
they've done the Tony Hawk's Underground thing.
Yeah, well, in Skate 2, they went, oh, look, you can get off your board, so it's easier to try and get out of a corner when you've jammed yourself in.
I was going to say, I remember being able to get off at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Skate 2 for that. Correct me if I am indeed wrong. So, going through, what's the more natural thing nowadays? What's cool with the kids?
You can fly?
TikTok. Parkour, my friend.
Parkour.
Oh, of course, it's parkour.
I saw a cat do parkour. I saw a cat do parkour the other day.
I guess they always sort of have, really.
No, but this was properly like, oh my God, that cat just did parkour. It's not that exciting a story.
Was he out with his other cat mates filming him?
No, there was no, but that's fucking. There was a Siamese cat in my garden, and which surprised me because we have a dog, and there's dogs almost everywhere near us, and it's like, you aren't bright. Why are you here? But cats seem to really. I've got quite a nice garden. My wife's like really good at that stuff, and this Siamese cat, we just sat there, and I thought, shit, is it hurt? Because why the hell wouldn't you just go? And it tried to go up the fence and it couldn't, so it climbed up and it parkoured off the shed onto the fence and then up, and it was properly like, parkour. That's the story. I did say it wasn't exciting.
And you have
a crazy life.
Do you know what? It was a really cute cat. It's just I just wish my dog liked cats.
Mate, come here. Like we've got 4 cats, and they're always doing random bullshit like that. They come
keep you awake.
11 o'clock at night, pelting through, bouncing off furniture.
2 a.m.'s for our cat. Oh,
sweet
loves
Jesus.
2 a.m.
His cat
and it's entertaining the first 3 times.
Door.
Day 500, you're just like, piss off, please. Just leave it.
So parkour, though. Sorry.
Parkour. Anyway, back on again.
Yeah.
So now you have got the opportunity to go and you'll see a nice tall building. Looks like it might be something on top. Go and have a look. Go and treat yourself.
You just skate up here.
And there'll be areas where you can clamber up the side of a building.
Okay, I was joking, but fair enough.
Climb anything because it's there. There are pre-set areas you go to do it, but there's a level of verticality that wasn't there previously.
Because I've seen screenshots where you're not squirrel suiting, but you're sort of without.
Oh yeah. You. This is a throwback to what was the Hall of Meat previously, where you would basically chuck yourself off stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you would try and get points for breaking bones and landing in things and
crazy things. What was that mode in Saints Row? We are the tangent the podcast this week, but
it's such a tangent day.
What was that mode in? It's insurance fraud in Saints Row.
Was that the same idea then? So you'd be lobbing yourself to try and score as many points to exactly. So here you can do that. You are basically indestructible. You will throw yourself off great big buildings and hit the floor really hard.
What?
And you love it.
Well, you actually can.
Like, you can just face plant straight down off a 10-story building. It's fine.
So how do you not? Do you have to press a button to is there a button for
No, you'll reach a point. So say you come off a half pipe on a roof. You're thinking I can hit that other half pipe. You don't. You miss it completely, and you'll be all right. You'll be fine for a little while. But once you've hit a certain distance, you ain't saving it. You are hitting the floor. So
you press a button and you whip a board out like?
You can try it, but you're basically just going to go straight to the floor.
You're going to have a board. And
there are points whereby if you dropped a little bit, you can land back on the board, but there's a point of no return, and you are just going straight on.
How vertical are we? I'm sort of trying to get a picture of the world in my head a bit.
So obviously I got a bit of time with the preview. You can tell I liked it because I was pissed off when they took it away.
Yeah, to
be honest. Yeah. And it was only a few days relative terms. It was not enough for what I wanted. So in the time I had with it, you'd climb up these 10-story buildings and other parts. There's areas that maybe you shouldn't be getting to, I guess. Like there'll be bits that are very obvious. Like you'll see 2 separate buildings and you'll have a ramp that you can air between the 2. Brilliant. Yeah. So I encourage you to trick across, do all the stuff you want to do, just go and enjoy it.
Okay.
There's also a church in there, which seems to be a big focal point in a lot of what I've seen of the PR so far. They're really focused on this church full of ramps. Don't know. I think it's a nod to, there's a place in Detroit, I think, where they've repurposed an old church and turned it into a little bit of a skate heaven. So I think they're playing off that idea. But there's a couple of ramps where you just launch yourself and suddenly you're sat on this roof and you're like, should I be here? There's not really a lot to get going on with. So there's quite a bit of freedom just to chuck yourself around this map. I'm assuming there's going to be quite a lot more as I get further and further into it.
Well, so in terms of reference points for people, then I don't want this to sound too stupid a question, but I don't think I have any option but to just answer. What are you doing? Like, is there
skateboarding, Adam?
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to ask that question. I knew, one, it would get that answer, and two,
of course it was. Yeah.
But like,
so
Tony Hawk's, for example, like I load Tony Hawk's up, and I'm going to go and do a 2-minute run in whatever. Right?
Yeah, What
am I doing in Skate in terms? Because this is I have to. Someone's got to say it. This is a free-to-play video game. So,
that happens to look very much like Fortnite, weirdly.
You say that, but like,
you didn't see it in the same way. I think it has a very big, epic looking characteristic.
I'm not against that, but what? So you load the game up.
People see taking umbrage to it quite a bit. To be fair,
of course,
they have.
But that's people, you know.
But so you press start, the game loads up. You're thrown into this world.
Yeah, there is a storyline of sorts, but you know, me being me and the narrative hater that I am,
that immediately.
You're hitting the button to get to it.
For the scene.
It is guiding you through the game initially and teaching you how to play the game, tutorial style. But it will be doing it via challenges such as there is point A to point B. On the way, there are a number of floating icons that look like skateboard bearings.
Yep.
Go through them.
Okay.
Great, easy. That's how it starts off.
Yep.
Learn to ride a board.
Yep.
It'll then start to ramp it and say, ramp it. Didn't mean that one. They will add in, right, so you've got an obstacle in the way. Could be a stair set, could be a rail. Okay, you now need to learn how to get from this point here and put the rail in there as an object to trick on the way.
And so you're
creating a given level of points as you do it.
So you're creating stuff as you do this as well. Like you're putting obstacles down.
Well, that is a separate part. Here, this is just using the set world,
right?
For example. Okay. But it will be introducing new challenges and doing those. There will be a separate challenge, so you'll be doing a skateboarding challenge, doing a trick. There'll be one that involves this Hall of Meat-esque situation. Climb up here and go and land in these 4 bins separately. So you jump off, guide yourself down, like you say, flying squirrel style, and land in a bin. And then use the handy restart point, which is probably my most used thing in any skate game ever. When you find a spot that you like and want to go back again, hold the button. You'll just
so nice.
Teleport back in. Cool. And it is, because it's like you've heard me wax lyrical about Session, another skateboarding game, for a long while. And it's the kind of thing where I will set a point and an obstacle I like, and I'll spend 3 hours just tricking over and over.
It makes me, my point of reference would be like, you know, in the Trials games when you're trying to finish a level and there's one bit that's really hard.
Yeah, so you go and just learn it over and over.
Or Meat Boy, I guess.
Rote muscle memory, and you need that.
Yeah.
And so you have challenges based around these different things. And as you're doing this, parts of the city are initially locked.
Okay.
And if you're doing it, you are gaining XP and a currency for that area, in-game currency, I should say.
So what's the XP doing in the skateboarding game?
So what you have is you have skate shops. And in these are essentially loot boxes that, using your XP, you'll spend money on and get something new to wear, a new graffiti tag. There'll be all things that you're opening. You've got a sense of progression with it. You know,
that sounds more like a currency thing, not a leveling up thing.
The leveling up,
or is it more like Overwatch, where when every time you level up, you get a loot box type thing?
It's kind of a combination of those things. It's your leveling to allow you to get these other areas to get the currency to go into those.
Oh,
so it's not quite dual gated, but if that makes any sense in my waffling manner.
I get it. I get it now.
So that's your progression, and you'll find bus stops that when you have a certain level of XP or done things in a certain area, they unlock as fast travel. And as you're doing this, you're opening new sections of the city as you go. I believe there are 4 main areas to the city. I mean, it's pretty bloody big. It's a good old area to skate around. There is something new around every corner to go and find and do and play around with. So there is a narrative progression to it. But as I said, me being me, didn't give a shit about that at all.
Well, also, you could be kinder to yourself here, because also it's a preview. And not your progress isn't carried over, so you'd be better off just
that will be gone as
going
in back on day one again.
Yeah, like so.
But again, from a personal standpoint, that is not why I play these games. This is about the freedom of creativity and experimentation and finding these areas where you've got this expansive moveset. So you're doing the flip tricks that we talked about, the things that people associate. Oh, do a kickflip when you're watching guys skateboarding. But there's grab tricks there. There's other stuff you can do with your board. You will do things like Christ airs where you'll use a grab and another button to hold your skateboard out and then drop it back in again when you need to land. And you can combine all these things as creatively as you can come up with. Like, the limitation is yourself, essentially.
You sound
and that,
quite
that
enamored
to me
with
is
this,
what the
man.
game is.
That is enamored with it. Like, you sound very, very much into this.
I'm totally into it. You know, I've been a fan of extreme sports games forever. And
I know, but what I'm getting at here is that this is a game that I mentioned earlier about Lyle and like with the Knightling, how I've experienced. I'm sure we've all experienced the other end of that when you like, you know, hands together, kind of like please, and we've all experienced that when it doesn't do that, and it does. You can't speak for everyone who's been waiting for Skate 4. But you have been waiting for Skate 4. This isn't Steve, video games journalist hat on. This is Steve, I love the skate games and skating culture.
Yeah, totally. I still dress like it now, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but like, that's what I'm saying. This is you saying, by the sound, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you are day one when this is available. You're downloading it the second it's available.
110%.
And we've lost you for a bit.
Yeah, totally. This will be my fall into game for quite a while now. Which is only a couple of weeks away.
I mean, that
so
is.
If anyone wants me, shout me now. Otherwise, be done.
That is very high praise.
Yeah. It's so comfy to play. You can just lose yourself. Like I say, I've been playing the preview. I'd come up and think, right, I'll just do a quick 20 minutes while I'm doing getting dinner ready and sorted out. Come up here, have a blast, get downstairs. 3 hours later, I'm still skating around, finding new spots to play around with, opening up new t-shirts, hats, that kind of stuff, and all the cosmetics that you might enjoy. It's just so easy just to go lose those hours in it, man.
Have you got a Steve-like avatar? Well, not now, but did you have a Steve?
Of course I have, Adam. The thing is, I'm so stupidly easy to replicate in most games. It's like, stick a beard on. There you go. Stick a beard on. Stick some short hair in this case. There you go. There's me. Oh, here's some glasses. Great, done.
I can't. Your glasses are fairly unique glasses. I mean, they're yellow.
There's usually a colour slider or something. Like, let's not give it that much.
You can affect it on those.
So is it in that respect? Again, I know, you know, said it once, say it again. You didn't have access to the in-game store. That wasn't what this preview was all about. We'll be finding out what that entails day one, same as everyone else. But you did, by the sounds of it, get to hear about customization. I was thinking, mainly because I'm looking at the document from last podcast where we talked about drag and drive, Lyle, and how like the unlocks and the customization are just like, this is the best Nintendo could do.
Yeah, it's not as expansive as I might have hoped.
But is that because you perhaps couldn't see some of the stuff that was... you know what I mean? I don't know what's...
I don't know for definite, but it didn't feel like it. I think because the game has been so stylized compared to...
But no, I'm thinking like... So
they limited that a bit more than what you would expect.
But you and I played Rematch, where you can have like prosthetic arms and legs, and in a football game, like
yeah, this has various facial hair options, but there might only be 4 or 5 of them.
But again,
we become so used to games where you are now basically, here's a slider and change everything you want.
But early access, Steve, early access, and I must stand up and say I went to a preview presentation of this game a while back, and they were clear that this is the start. Like they will be, you know, they even was saying things like the visual style is like, while that's what it is right now, it could change. Like it doesn't sound. It sounds like for want and for fear of falling a little bit into the trap of believing what games developers and publishers say. It does sound like the developer genuinely wants to make the game the community wants. Now, how you do
it sounds like they are willing to respond to feedback going forwards.
Yes,
as to how much they're going to do that, we'll have to wait and see.
How you do that without, you know, there's Group A and here's Group B, and they want this and they want...
You can't please everyone all the time.
So
it's the old...
It's going to be super interesting. And I must admit, I genuinely... looking forward to giving this a bash myself, to be honest with you. I think I'll grab it on, because it's one of them things we were talking about this, like PlayStation don't do early access except for when they just seem to do early access for certain games and allow it. So I mean, Fortnite is technically actually an early access game still, if I remember correctly. Did it ever hit like You know what I mean? Because it used to be.
I have no idea.
It used to be an early access game, and then they
Doesn't
added
even
this
matter at
battle
this point,
royale
it is what it
mode,
is, yeah.
and the battle royale mode was added on, and then I don't even know. Can you even play Saves the World anymore?
They still sell it as part of like some of the packs and stuff, so it's definitely still there. But I wouldn't actually know. I assume it'd just be like another game type, like how you find all the custom ones. But like, I don't know where it is, and I play Fortnite every day, so.
Yeah. This is coming to early access.
Well,
I cannot think
they've
of
already said. I saw something in the news this week that said they are planning sort of season-esque progression.
Yes,
so you've
they
got
mentioned
season 1, season 3 come in. And they're going to be adding new stuff all the time, new music, new cosmetics.
Because during the preview session,
new tricks, which was like, oh, okay, I didn't even realize I'd missed that trick
that
because
as well.
you've done yet.
So there was some stuff in the preview session. A lot of the questions, like people were saying, well, does that mean you're going to miss out on tricks? And they were like, that we're not. That's not what this is.
No, it doesn't feel like that's what's going to happen at all. It's always going to be an addition and always adding on incrementally to the game.
You could, let's put it this way, in the preview session, you could hear other journalists were asking questions as they were talking about stuff, and you could almost hear the cogs turn them going, actually, that's a good point. You know what I mean? Like, so they are really genuinely listening.
Taking cheeky notes as it's going along.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a journalist playing this game, you are part of the community that plays this game. So, you know, if you pick it up and then go, I don't like it and not play it anymore, then fair play. But if you're going to be part of it, you can be both, and you are going to be both because, you know, I'm going to give it a go. I'll be interested.
It's a free to play. There's no reason not for everyone just to go out and give it a go.
Might as well try it.
Cross play and cross progression. So. PC,
whichever format you want to jump on with a bunch of mates, it doesn't matter what they've got. You can all hang out together and mess around on planks of wood. It'd be great.
Which is cool, and that's coming second week in September. I want to say 13th is in my head.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere there.
Don't know for sure.
Early September.
But again, go read Steve's sort of formal thoughts in a preview on lootlevelchill.com.
And get on and come and play it with me. Why not?
Why not? And that is a podcast for this week. We now have to record a bonus podcast, which you can get access to yourself if you go to patreon.com/lootlevelchill. For $2.50 or £2.50 a month, you're getting access to the entire library, of which there are at least 24, maybe 25, I can't remember, 24 bonus podcasts. There's a Discord you can come and chat to us in. We do lots of stuff with the community where we can. We're going to talk about some old video games on this week's bonus podcast, where we've done quizzes and hot takes and all sorts. We've got loads of different bonus podcasts we do, so you'll find
it's arguably DLC for LLC.
I wouldn't call it that. It's just an extra bonus pod in it. Yeah,
I wouldn't call it 24 episodes in that. I would have called it that at the start.
Well, that would make sense.
Would have been a great idea. 24 episodes ago. Fuck. Thank you to Steve. Thank you to Lyle, and thank you to you, dear listener, watcher, reader. If you somehow transcribe a podcast, I'm sure that's a thing people do.
Thank all of you consumers.
Yes, consumers. And thank you. We'll speak to you next episode.
Thank you, consumers.
Or whenever you choose to listen. Bye for now.